All right, the floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. I see people are still coming into the waiting room, so I'm just gonna give it like a few more seconds and then I'll get started. I left my office door open, so if you hear anything, you know why. Hope everyone is having a great Tuesday. Okay, nobody's in the waiting room right now, so now's my chance. Obviously, you guys are all here for business on a budget. And I know it kind of says like if you're building a business, but this doesn't just have to be if you're building it. It could be if you already have a like flowing business. And this is just a way to cut corners. Maybe you didn't think about it, or I know there's people that still are learning things. So hopefully, I'm hoping that everyone at least gets one thing out of this. If not, this is something that maybe you didn't realize, like not a lot of people know about, so you can share it with your downline. So before I introduce myself, make sure you grab a pen and paper or whatever you take notes on, because I'm hoping to say, like I said, one thing that you didn't know that you have access to or whatever, so that you can share it with others and then write it down for yourself. So my name is Noemi Warren. As many of you may know, you see me on here sometimes, most of the time. But I am a director and I live in Middle Georgia right now. I'm originally from El Paso, Texas. I joined Sensi 4 years ago this past May. It's been a whirlwind, but I love it. And when I first started, I was one of those who had no intentions of turning it into a business. I started it just to get my wax at a discount and to never run out anymore. And then as we started at like adding products, and then, SFR was shortly after my join. So seeing all the exciting things that we offer, and then just the hype, like the love, the support, everything, how much we all support each other with sharing ideas and stuff, that really got me like, this is what I want to be like this. I want to do more. So when we are running our businesses, and I hear it a lot, like I try to get my teammates to put in orders, and what's the one excuse that we hear all the time? I don't have money. That one kind of like gets under my skin, because for one, like especially if you join to make it a business, you're not we're not trying to make you spend your own money. Like that's not the point. Like we're trying to help you make money. So when people say I don't have money, for me it's a simple excuse. Like it's just the easy excuse to say. And just like I believe it's Heidi or Orwell, I think it's Orwell that said it. We don't want you spending your money on Sensi. We want Sensi money to be spent on your family and Sensi. We want Sensi to take over and pay for things that you didn't have, or that make your life easier. So that's where I'm starting with that. So obviously we're talking about business on the budget. So what's your budget? Like, is it your entire Sensi paycheck? Is it half of your paycheck? Like what is your budget? So I know everybody's situation is different. Mine's different than somebody who supports their entire family on their paychecks. So obviously their budget's going to be different than mine. But starting off, you got to start off with some sort of a budget. Like you want to, if you're using all of your money that you make on Sensi back on Sensi, it's kind of like a self-paying hobby if you think about it. But we want to like make a difference, not only in your life, but in your family's life or your dog's life. Some of us don't have families, they have their dogs. So, spoil yourself, like do things. So how I work my budget, and I actually had to like just recently like put some sort of budget together. I just didn't really know numbers. So I break mine down. So on payday, 50% of my paycheck goes to my it's a checking account, so I call it my Sensi account. And that I can use on whatever, whether it be unexpected things like my kids need clothes, or if I want to buy a new purse, or if I want to save because one of my whys is my father has cancer, and this recently happened. So it was one of those things where I wanted to spend or save money so that my children can, and myself, obviously my whole family, can see him more often. So that's where my like a majority of my money goes. 50% of my money goes there so that I could fly either them here because they live in Texas, or my family, we can go visit them there. Or my dream before he goes is to take him to a Dallas Cowboy game in the new stadium, because he's never been. So he's been to the old stadium. So, and I've never been to the new stadium. So that's one of the things that I want to do. So that's 50% of my paycheck. 30%, and this is just a safe number for me because it's different for everyone else. 30% goes to a tax savings account. So when tax time comes, I'm not worried about having to pay extra on my Sensi commission, because if you guys didn't know this, your commission is not taxed. So at tax time, they can come. I don't know how that works, and I'm not going to try to explain that, but your commission will be taxed at tax time. So I always pull money out, don't even touch it, don't even look at it. I mean, I see it adding up and I'm like, okay, stay there. But I don't touch it. So have some sort of tax savings or put that money aside. A safe like number to go with is look at your last year's tax return, and then look at the tax bracket that you fall in. And if you're like at the verge of like going to the next one, just bump it up ahead, and there's a percentage that goes along with that. Put that percentage aside and you should be good to go. And that's not considering like any deductions that you, or any write-offs that you have. It's just a safe amount to have. Don't look at it. Okay, so the last 20%. This is what I save and goes back into Sensi business supplies, and anything that I need are costs, like my website fee, any apps that I've subscribed to, like Canva, that comes out of that. Set and warmer of the month, shipping, any supplies that I need for sampling that I'm making, vendor events, anything that you use as part of a business expense. So anything that you're going to keep a receipt for. So it'll be a write-off later, and I'll talk about that later. That comes out of that 20%. And I know a lot of you saying like, that's not a lot, especially considering some of you have like smaller paychecks. That can change, like I said, based totally on your situation. But for me, that works. I don't want to spend too much money putting back into my business that I'm spending that. How do I put that? How do I put it easier to? I don't want to spend too much going back into my business, because then I feel like it will be just a hobby. I want to spend a majority of my Sensi money on Sensi and whatever the hell else I want. So get your budget together. If you don't have one, we can help you figure one out. Okay, the next thing. Okay, so I'm trying to break it down for you guys so it's easy to take notes. So the first thing, well, sorry, so the second thing, because the first thing was our budget. Second thing is, do you always have a catch-all party open with you as the host? If you don't, after this training is over, go open you one and you make yourself the host. What if you're not getting, or if you're not trying to earn yourself free and half off items, what are you doing? Like, you are wasting your time and your rewards like that you could be getting, because you know you have those orders that come in and they go to no party. So one thing that I always do is I'll have a title one for me, and it says June's customer online orders. Or some people make it super easy and it says, not with a party, choose me. And you'd be surprised how many people start choosing that, because it now like asks you, do you want to add it to a party? So come on, like you're missing out if you're not doing that. Another reason why, this is your chance and opportunity to be able to flip a host for, sorry, I say for free because I can say it with y'all, but at no cost. This is the opportunity to build that credit, build a $500 party, and then, offer it to somebody who you know that really wants to join, but they just can't afford it. I always say use that with discretion. Don't just offer it to anybody, because if you end up flipping it to somebody who doesn't do nothing with it, it's going to hurt, and you're going to feel like you wasted all of that on nobody. So use those at your discretion, but it gives you the opportunity to be able to do that when the time comes, when that person that you talk to is like, I would love to join, I need the money, I just can't afford it right now. You have the opportunity now once you have that catch-all party that's at $500. The next I kind of already talked about, but I'm going to kind of reiterate, is your own host rewards. So if you're not getting like sorry, if you're not using host rewards on, your own wax or room sprays or stuff that you can make samples with, how are you going to make our business is so easy because we can hand out samples. I know of many other direct selling companies who, they sell a consumable product, but it's much more expensive for them to give out samples. For us, it's really easy because we earn a lot of our stuff. We can earn a lot of our stuff free and half off. So that's what you use it for, is, samples. This is where you can get host gifts, kind of like a little bribery, like, hey, I have a little June special, and give them like a room spray or a free wax bar or whatever the case. You have something to offer. You have incentive. That too, and you can also use it on products that you've never tried. Like for anybody who's joined with like a $25 kit where you don't get a lot of stuff in your kit, this is where you can supplement that kit that you got and try like laundry products or the clean products or whatever it is that you haven't tried yet, so that you get to use everything in our catalog. So when somebody asks you about like, I don't know, you have that ability to be like, oh yeah, I tried this and that, and this is what I like, this is what I didn't. So you can be honest. You want to be able to like relate to your customers and not be like, well, I've never used that, so I don't know. Because we want to be experienced. We want to like learn and use all of our products. And then that too, you can also buy stuff for like displays if you do like vendor events. Another huge reason to have a catch-all party with host credits in it waiting is when Bring Back My Bar comes around, a lot of people are like, I cannot afford a $126 kit. Host rewards, especially, or the credits, those can be applied to something like that. I know like there's some things that, we always look for, like when stuff comes out, it's like, can we use host credits? Most of the time, you can at least use host credits. I can't remember the last time that we've seen one where it said like you couldn't use any host or credits. And I believe it's just like the license stuff is obviously the ones that we can't use host credits, because that's just something we can't use host credits for anyway. Another thing, this is one of those things that like a lot of people, I don't know how, like where it even gets mentioned, but it gets missed. But do any of you guys realize that you can get 10 18 by 18 by 7 clear bags for $1.10? So I always try to remember, as soon as my party is about to close, I add some in there, but they come in a package of 10 like this. But this is how big they are. So this is the warmer of the month for this month, and this is the size of your bag. But you get 10 of these for $1. And I don't believe there's a max. I know you can get more than 10, because when I went to click on there, it was like 10 plus. So I don't know. I usually get like 1 or 2 per party. I know that these come in handy if you have a host who's not local to you and they have orders that they are combining and she's going to get for her customers. Put one of these in there for them, and they have the bags to bag their customer or their guest products in. When you type it in the sorry, so the name of the host is obviously at the top, and then you have like the retail, and then you have the host credits, and then you have the half off. So under the retail, type in customer, and it'll come up, and you'll see it's like $1, and it has customer order bags, I think is the name of it. But yeah, get 2 or 3. I always try to check my basket of bags to make sure that I have enough to like cover me for the next few times, for like few weeks or whatever. But I'll always make sure to add 1 at least a month. Oh, okay, that too. So in addition to the customer bags, for those customers who are not local to the hosts that are not local, and you're going to send them bags, you can also say like you want to add like little gifts for people that ordered, or just like little thank yous. Um, you can add like the little nail files, you can add the keychains to their order and send it with them. So you don't have to worry about sending nothing, sending no scent circles, sending any extra, or I mean, obviously scent circles are nice, but I mean, send them something different, like a nail file or keychains. I mean, we have that ability to add consultant store products into their item, into their order as well. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Oh, I'm trying not to talk too fast, but I don't want to keep you guys too long. Okay, next I'm going to touch on samples. Okay, so I already touched on samples on earning your rewards so that you can get the product. Now, what you're going to do with that product. So I know a lot of people want and like, and they're cute, the little classic curve felt samples from the consultant store. You get like 100 for $6. I used to do that. I loved it, but it wasn't cost efficient for my budget. So what I started doing was going to like Hobby Lobby or Joann's Fabric, getting a sheet like this. It's a 12 by 18 and it's $1.99 at Hobby Lobby. And I can get, and then I cut it up like this. I cut some up for you guys into like little 1-inch strips. And then I end up cutting them into like little 1-inch squares. And then you could even, if you wanted, cut it in half again. I don't, I just like leave it like this. I made 234 squares from that sheet for $1.99. Do the math, and it's, when I did the math, it was 0.008. So it wasn't even like a full cent per this. So you're getting your money's worth when you try to cut corners like that. I get something knocked out. So when I'm doing samples for like bring back my bar, you know, how many wax bars we have, I don't got to worry about running out or ordering 10 or whatever of those, you know, 100 packs that we get from the consultant store. This is the size of the sheet. And this is, I got it from Hobby Lobby, 12 by 18. I can see some questions come through, so that's why I'm like going over things. So use what you have. Okay, so I'm not knocking on anybody who has bought one. I'm just saying for me, I just didn't want to buy one, especially because what I've been doing has been working. And I didn't see that there was another way to do it until later on in my Scentsy career. So I use a warmer to do my wax samples. I didn't buy that like chocolate melter. I didn't need something else in my space that I had to like melt with. Granted, there's that one that does like the half and half. But I just have I have multiple warmers in my office set up, and I just turn a few on and then I start melting wax. But so use what you have. You don't have to buy anything extra. If you can't afford one, don't get one. Use a warmer that you should already have. If you got one in your starter kit, and if you didn't, use your rewards to get you one. There you go. And you have a Scentsy product, and you have a wax melter that you can use for felt samples. Use a room spray to spray your cards that you're sending somebody. I don't have one right now. Oh yeah, right here. Use a room spray. Spray it and send it off. Or spray like your thank you card, put it in the person's thing, and they'll be able to smell it still. Another thing that I just recently learned about, and I kind of think this is smart, but like if you ran out of like wax or the stickers, run it through, and that will smell, and they can smell it in the mail, because that oil will get on the edge of this thing, and it smells good. So that's another thing. I mean, get creative. Our stuff is pretty easy to smell. This one smells good. Okay, sorry. All right. What else? Oh, okay. Huge thing, something that I learned recently last year. Plan out your samples, whether it's 3 months in advance, 6 months in advance. We are pretty much kind of told like what's coming up, unless it's getting closer to transition. Then, you know, don't start making new stuff, because you don't know what's going to change, what's going to get removed from the catalog. I mean, I've been victim to that. I've made so many samples, and then in the next catalog, it's like they went away with that. Now I have all these samples. What am I going to do with this? So be cautious of when you are making new samples. Something else that I wanted to write down, and I did write down, is Do not make new, so okay, let me rephrase this. We're in the month of June. Next month is transition. Do not make scents right now of the 10 cents that we have, like that's the new spring scents, unless you are going to hand them out immediately. Don't make them because you're gonna end up sitting on them and then you're gonna be at the end of July trying to hand them out like cakes because you're like, I don't want to sit on these. And then I wasted my time, but you're not really like putting thought, like work into who you are giving them and who you're giving them to. You're just trying to get rid of them. So just I've done it and I kick myself because I have all these like extra wax samples and I'm like, I hope that scent comes back. So
Mom,
don't do that. Yes, buddy.
what if you're at the top of the food chain?
Hold on. Well then I will be safe. Can you get out the office real quick? I'm on a train, but I will be out to get you. Can you close the door, please?
Sure.
Sorry, I probably should have done that before. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Love
Love you.
you too. Okay, the next thing we're gonna talk about is the consultant store. I'm gonna hit back on that. If you have a consultant that's local to you, like whether it be a friend, a teammate, whatever, somebody else who is a consultant, and you can't afford to like, you want all the new like 10 cents in stickers because stickers are cheaper, right? But buying all 10 cents comes out, or 10 cents comes out to like $30, but you're like, I don't have $30. Go in with somebody on it. Half all the sheets or not half all the sheets, but you know what I mean, half the sheets so that you guys get an even amount. And that goes for like something like catalogs, product lists, something that we get like in a big quantity, or whether it be like the thank you cards or the party invite cards, and you don't want like 100 party cards, go in with somebody on it. Yeah, it may be like $3-4, but that saves you the amount of stuff that you're just gonna have sitting, and it can help somebody else who may not, maybe trying to cut corners as well, or try to cut expenses. Also a way to save on consultant store products is add those to your workstation orders. So you're putting it an individual order or a party order, and it's obviously coming to you. Put stuff in, like make a list of the things that you need, like catalogs, stuff like that. That way you're not paying twice on shipping, because I know everybody in here loves like Amazon free Prime shipping, and if it's not free, it's not worth it. So if you can cut like your shipping, just think smarter, kind of like have a list like of what you need. That way you can add it to those orders when they're going to get closed. Another thing is Vistaprint. Vistaprint is awesome. There's a lot of good stuff in there. And I know some of us are like, I want it all. I want it all. Be smart of what you buy. I've fallen privy to those look cute, I'm going to get them, and then I don't use them. And I paid full price. What you want, like, and what you feel like you're going to use, it's going to help in your business, put it in your cart and let it sit until a coupon comes around, because those coupons come around kind of often, at least every month. I see one at least every month, whether it be 40% off, 30% off, 50% off, there's a coupon. So I never buy anything from Vistaprint full price. There's always a coupon, and it's a good coupon. So it's very rare that I see something that's like excludes this. So just know that. Add stuff to Vistaprint, leave it there, and wait for a coupon to come. All right. The next thing I'm going to talk about, and I'm kind of going to get on a little soapbox because this is something that a lot of people are like, well, you're knocking yourself down once you say that you can't earn it. Once you tell yourself you can't, or you don't think so, or whatever the case, you're not going to. So I changed that mind from around, and it was one of those things that I was like, well, damn. So earning business tools and supplies. I didn't say buying, I said earning. Incentives, like the one we're having right now. Spring incentives are usually the ones where we can earn like multiple things, or like wax bars or whatever. At least This year and last year is when, so last year is when I finally like changed that mindset and was like, why can't I? Like, I'm going to try. I'm going to try my best. And I did. And I ended up earning all three or all the whole shebang. And I got my luggage kit and I was like, I did it. You know, like once you change your mindset, there's no one that can stop you unless you stop yourself by telling yourself, I can't do this. Counting yourself out before it's even done. Don't do that. The spring incentive or the brick that just ended last month, the brick 2. So I don't know if you guys knew this, but the value of it is $124 approximately without, tax and all that and shipping. Well, I mean, yeah, because we'd have to pay shipping for it to get here unless we put it to a $500. Anyway, the value of those products in there, it was $124. I added it up. And that's that I added it up with the 10% discount on the catalogs or whatever, and then the transition set on sale. So like if you were to get this next month, that's how much it would be. Normal price, it'd be obviously more. So that's $124 that you don't have to spend. As long as they keep offering spring incentives where we earn fall wax bar kits or all that stuff, I'm gonna work my butt off to get them because that's one thing I don't have to pay for. Plus, the more I work my butt off, the more money I'm making. Why wouldn't you? Like, it's not that hard. We have so many opportunities to like learn and do things to make this money and earn stuff on top of it. Another thing is last year, I don't remember, my memory is shoddy. But like the blanket and the mug that they offered last October, that's advertising right there. You know how many times I see a lot of us sharing our mug and people are loving it. They love that mug. It's cute. They're like, I want one. Sorry, I earned this or whatever. I know they were available at one point in the consultant store. I got one, but it was nice to earn one. And it was just for having a party. I believe it was like so many parties or a party or closing it was closing a party. I don't remember. But there's opportunities to earn stuff, whether it be advertising, whether it be business supplies, like you can earn stuff for free. Another thing that I didn't realize and I just learned once I started doing it. So I don't know if y'all remember or like learned this or remember it from your first things first checklist, the all consultant training that happens every Tuesday, that all you have to do is go in to the training events under the training tab and whatever the next one is, like today's was, I forgot the name of what today's was because I registered it for like 30 minutes before it started because I almost forgot. But you register for it. Sarah sends you an email saying, thank you for registering. Here's your link. Once it starts, you can use this link to get on. Just for signing up, even if you can't make it, like if you're at work, if you signed up for it and you missed it, oh well, they're gonna record it and then it'll be available by like Thursday. But just for signing up, you get put into a drawing for business supplies. Did you know that? Because I didn't know that. And I've been with Scentsy for 4 years and I just learned this like a few months ago because I won one. And it was exciting. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, oh, I never win anything, that I don't put my heart into. But yeah, this is what you earn. Thank you cards. And it's like the big pack. The host join brochures. I believe it's 60 of the thank you cards, which you put these, think about all the things you put these on. And I'm gonna have to figure out how to get rid of all of these, but product lists. So it's a value of $18, but think about it. If you win this like early on in the season, you're gonna be set for like, especially with product lists, you don't have to buy product lists. It's $18 of stuff that you don't have to buy. So for free, just for signing up for training. And that too, you're signing up for free training. Free. Like some people have to buy their training or buy into, like you think about like SFR, people are like, oh, it's too much. You know how much free training we get on our workstation and like the quality of our training too. It's a win-win, guys. Definitely, I would suggest signing up for like the next month. Just get it over with. Go. That's another thing to do. Workstation, training events, and then see what's coming up maybe one of them on there is like, hey, I think I can benefit from that. Sign up for it. You just put your info in and she'll send you an email, and she'll even send you a reminder email right before it starts. So do that. I guess this is the last thing. Yeah, of the earning your business tools and supplies. This is something I had no clue about. Don't know how I missed it. Wish I wouldn't have missed it, but I got privy to it and ended up earning it for the first time. So annual sales annual sales excellence and annual mentor award. Now I didn't win annual mentor award, but I'm going to do it next year. Annual sales excellence. So if you sell 30K in a calendar month or calendar year, so 1 May to 30 April. So we're still hot in the beginning of it. 30K. That's it. Break it down, and that's 2,500 PRV a month. Now I know a lot of you are like, girl, I can't even get like 500 a month. Set that bar. Tell yourself, I can do it and I will do it. I did that last year, and I had like a little thing that said, May, I need to have 2,500 PRV in the month. And every time I was under that number that I had to write down was in red. But every time I was over where I was supposed to be, I wrote it in green. I quickly saw how much red I was writing, and I was like, no, honey. So when fall came, that number turned green, and I ended up earning it in January. I was like, oh my God, I did it. And it's $1,000 bonus. $1,000 just dropped into your account. That happened this month. And it was kind of one of those like, what do you do with that? Oh gosh, budget, my budget. Okay, you can do it. Tell yourself that you can do it. Yours right now is the perfect time. We are just barely into June. Yeah, I say barely. Yeah, we're barely into June. May, whatever happened in May, don't matter. Get that number and get where you need to be to get to 30K by 30 April. You can do it. Anybody can do it. You just have to tell yourself that you can do it. The annual mentor award. So you need to certify 14 new teammates. So the reinstatements don't count. 14 new people at least. You need to get them to certified. And you'll get $25 per certified consultant. If they reach lead or higher, that number turns to 50. So of course, if you have 8 certified and like the rest are lead and above, you do the math, it's a big number. And that's just for really, you're just doing your job. But set that bar. I need to get 14 people. There's 12 months in that year. Did you have somebody join last month? Have you had somebody join this month? Subtract that and tell yourself each month, this is what I need to do to get to that 14. And then the work that you need to put in, which either of those people, do that work, figure it out. But have a plan and tell yourself that you can do it. That's going to be the first thing you need to do, is just tell yourself, I can do this. I can make that extra money. That's a lot. That's a good chunk of money that I can add into my budget and do the things that I want to do, maybe with summer with my kids. Because that's usually when it comes, like in June is when the bonuses drop. Perfect time. So getting off my soapbox now, but you just gotta, it's a mindset thing. I'm gonna try to press through these real quick because I don't want to take any more of your guys' time. Set and warmer of the month. So if you guys didn't know this, flyers and stickers that you usually get like in your kit. Some people are like, I can't afford the kit. That's fine. Flyers and stickers become available the day they process. So for US consultants, that's the 15th, unless it's specified anywhere else in the news tab. I believe for US candidates, the 10th of the month. I don't know the price of Canada's because I don't know. But for 50 flyers, it's $2.70 because it's discounted. And for the 72 rub and sniff stickers, it is $2.70 as well. So a little bit over, so $5.40 plus, tax or whatever. Add it to an open order that you're about to close. Plan it out that way, and you got your stickers and your flyers. and you're basically taking care of mail for the next month, or however you hand out flyers, but $5.40. It's not going to be $35 plus tax and shipping. It's $5.40. That's it for a bunch of the flyers and the Robin's Nest stickers. And obviously you're going to get more stickers than you have flyers, so you can decide how you're going to use the rest. I would definitely recommend try to use the rest of them, because you never know if it's ever going to come back. So you don't want to have a bunch of these stickers just hanging around. So that's then the warmer of the month for the flyers and stickers. As for the warmer, I get people all the time, like, I can't afford it, or I don't want it, or whatever the case. If you do want the warmer, but you don't want to keep the warmer, pre-sell the warmer, because you know what that warmer is going to be the last day of the end of the beginning of month, whatever, end of month, the day before. That's when you need to start planning. Okay, if I don't want that warmer, who do I think I can sell it to? Because if you can sell that warmer, you can pretty much pay for almost all of the kit that it comes in. Think about whoever, like the next month's succulents. Anybody who's bought a succulent warmer, ask them, hey, I got like this insider secret to next month's scent of the or warmer of the month, and I think you would love it. Do you want to peek? Do you want to see what it is? And maybe even throw in like a little discount, or like if you buy it off me, especially if they're local, you don't want to ship it. If they're local, if you buy it off me, I'll give you a free bar of the wax that comes with it. It's already in your kit. And you sold the warmer. And then what you can do is, if you do sell that warmer, you can do a little live, like show it off and show people, because people love to see us using our products. If you're not getting our products and using it and showing it off, why should they? Why should they buy our stuff if you're not even using it? If you're not showing it, if you're not showing your face with it, why should they buy it? So it's another way to get your hands on it, show people, and then sell it. But do not sign up for the warmer of the month if you don't want it and you don't pre-sell it. If by the 14th you haven't pre-sold that warmer, do not sign up for it. Change your, downgrade and get it out of there, because then there's just going to be another warmer that you add to your collection that you're going to end up selling at a really crazy discount later, because you're like, I'm tired of all these warmers and I'm trying to get rid of them. You're not saving yourself money. Don't do that to yourself. Pre-sell that warmer if you don't want it, but want to make that PRV off of it and sell it pretty much. So that's just on that. Okay, I think this is my second to the last. Yes. Okay, happy mail and thank you mail. Find inexpensive ways to get to put stuff in your happy mail. One of the things that I figured out, because for one, it saved me ounces on my mail, is, people use like the thank you cards that are like this. These are my thank you cards. It's $1.47 for 100. They're cute, they're colorful. It's the non-lined stuff, so it's the blank ones. And I write their name in like a cute little glitter pen that I got obviously on a discount. I don't buy stuff. I don't like to buy stuff full price, if you haven't caught that by now. I write their name in cute little glitter, and I write like a sweet little nothing on it. And you have no many times people will send me a picture and be like, I've kept this and I just needed to hear this today. And they keep them. And if they throw them away, I'm not hurt by it, because I'm not spending a lot of money on thank you cards. I was going through so much money on thank you cards, like $7.99 for a pack of like 50, 100 for $1.47. And it's cute because they're all colorful. Shop like Walmart. I know a lot of us are like the white envelopes, like the normal standard boring white envelopes. Start off with that. Who cares? Who cares? People would rather get your mail than a bill. So just put that flyer in that long little boring envelope. Walmart has them pretty cheap. Target, I don't know. I don't buy mine from Walmart or from Target. So I get mine from Walmart. When I was getting them from Walmart, I've kind of upgraded to the purple, but that's because my budget allows it now. But when I first started, it was white envelopes. I didn't care because they were getting something from me that wasn't a bill. Target Dollar Spot has a bunch of cute like decor stuff that can go with your warmers or with your fragrance flowers. Don't go crazy in there. Go in with a limit. I'm only spending $10 or $5 or whatever the case. Don't go crazy in there. It's easy to go crazy at the Target dollar spot. And then that too, people always think Dollar Tree is, pretty cheap, blah, 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 blah. Yes, for a lot of things, but when you're talking about like stationery, it's not, because you get like 10 and it's $1. Yeah, it's $1, but it's 10. I mean, you can cut corners easy like in other places, but stationery, don't ever buy stationery at the Dollar Tree unless it's like cute little like memo pads, like stuff that's actually like of value. And this is something that I learned a long time ago. Don't do for one that you can't do for 100 or 1,000, because your business will grow. And even if you have one customer, 10 customers, 20 customers, and you're like, I want to send all of them a scent circle. I got all these scent circles. Can you afford to do that if you have 100 customers or if you have 1,000 customers? I've tried that many times. I've tried going to the scent circles because I think it's a good idea. I love it. My budget doesn't allow for it, but I've found different ways to get my love and thank you across than sending a scent circle. My hope is that one day when I'm an SSD and I can afford it and my budget has kind of gotten bigger, I'll send everybody a scent circle. It's easy. And this month, Scentsy is doing it for us. So, I get it. I want to do it too, but don't do anything that's not in your budget, and don't keep doing it just because you started. It didn't work out. Okay, let's try something else. And that also goes for team recognition and gifts. Don't go all extravagant buying, they hit their first whatever or shooting star. I'm going to buy them this big old thing. Like, don't do that to yourself, because what if they tell the next person and the next person's like, I got a card? It's going to be one of those like, don't do that to yourself. Figure it out. Like, what's, for my new people, if they get their first teammate, I send them like the little Duncan Hines box from Amazon. It's like 2 something to treat themselves for getting their first teammate. It's their first teammate. It's not like every teammate, it's just their first, and it's $2.49 and it's free shipping. So for me, it works. For me, it fits my budget. Think inexpensive. Okay, the last thing should have started to be quick. Everything that I talked about, all the money that you're going to spend, track your money. Track where you're spending your money. If you don't, and I know probably people are like, well, I'm a hobbyist. It don't matter. It don't matter. Because what if your situation changes until then, or in that time? Like, what if you're a hobbyist and all of a sudden, your spouse loses their job and you're like, dang, I gotta start making money. But all those months you spend just spending money and not tracking it, where are your receipts? All this money that you're gonna have to claim because you're gonna eventually make more than $600, you're gonna get a 1099, and then you're gonna have to go to the IRS and be like, I have no thing to show for it. Like, I have so don't do that to yourself. Track everything. Kind of keep a balance of like what you're spending your money on. Keep track of your budget. That way you don't shoot yourself in the foot if your situation does change and you have nothing to show for it, because that would suck. And I would feel really bad for you, but I'd be telling you, I told you so. But I'm just kidding. I wouldn't say that. Anything that's used for your business. So the receipts I was talking about, I got this and I've been getting them from the Dollar Tree. It's a budget book. I put the year on it, but inside it has little pockets and you can put all your receipts in. And then down here, I haven't been good. Obviously you can see I need to go back and fix that. You can put like your website fee, anything you didn't get a receipt for, write it down in here. My goal is this month to catch up. I know I'm preaching when I'm not showing you, but that's because, I actually don't know. But anyway, do it. You will kick yourself, because I did, and I ended up not filing until like April 15th because I was trying to catch up on last year's stuff, and I know I missed stuff and I kicked myself, but just do it. Like, as soon as you spend money on something, make it a habit of putting the receipt in here and writing it down or writing it down, because you don't have to do both. And that way, when it comes time for taxes, you have everything in here and you could just go in and, yep, this was this was that. And that too, if you want something that's like electronic, on the US tax dollars and cents Facebook page, and it's cents like SCENTS. They have an Excel form, so just search for it, 2022 like spreadsheet or tax, whatever, you'll find it. It's in the files section. I used that and I actually liked it, except I kind of like tweaked it for my own. I will say, this is totally on like a little bit of some different subject. There's a little bit of drama in that group. Just get what you need, get out and go on your merry way. Don't get involved. Don't fall victim to any little drama that's going on there, because I've seen it, but I have no time for it. I just get in there, go in there, get what I need and get out. But it will help you in your business to keep track if you are a like all electronic person. And then that too, last thing, consult your tax advisor about what you can track or what you can write off. Because some, I know it's crappy. Some say yes to one thing that somebody else's says no. So it's the person who's doing your taxes who's willing to take the heat if something comes down. Ask that person, hey, is this like something I can write off? Cool, yes, no, all right, let's go. Best thing to do is just track everything. And then at the end of, like I say, if you've never done it, at the end of the year, and if he has questions or she has questions, just be like, this is what I used it for, or this, and then they'll tell you then. And then they'll actually, some of them, most of them, actually the good ones, will tell you what else to, mark down, like, your utilities, your office or whatever. Like, I don't want to go into detail about the things because there's so many things. It could be like a whole class on its own. It actually is a whole training on its own. Karen does it at the beginning of the year or towards the end of the year. I don't remember when it is. But in that spreadsheet that's in that group, there's like a guide as well, like because it's a bunch of tax advisors or people who used to be advisors that will tell you like what you can write off and what you can't write off. One of the things that people forget all the time is mileage, or your car, like the beginning of the year, end of the year mileage. I do Mile IQ is the app that I use because I was awful about tracking anything. But as long as I got that beginning of the year thing, and then, every time I got in the car, obviously I have my phone with me, it tracks it automatically. And at the end of the year, I just put my number in and then I'm good to go. But don't not track your miles, especially if you're delivering a lot. So you don't want to do that to yourself. So that's it. That's all I have for now. I tried to get it. I did not want to take this long, but there's just a lot of stuff that I wanted to get through and wanted to kind of just harp on. So Karen, I hope you're still here. If not,
I am. I'm still here.
Okay. Yeah, that's all I have.
So I was
Is there
looking,
any questions?
I was looking through the questions. I think you've answered most of them.
Okay.
If anyone feels that their question, let me rephrase that. I think either you answered it or someone dropped the answer again in the chat.
Okay.
If there's something you don't feel was answered, go ahead and drop it in the chat.
Or don't hesitate to message me. I don't mind getting messaged either. I love helping. So I don't mind answering a question or getting clarification on like, what did you say? I could get this or that or whatever.
It's basically great tips. Thanks for letting me join. It was awesome. Thanks for the great tips. Thanks. Great job. You were fantastic. I think you covered everything thoroughly. Thank you guys so much for joining. I'm trying to think what next week's is, and I don't have it with me off the top of my head.
Baskets, party baskets.
Oh, with Allison, right? Yep. And that'll be really fantastic too. So, all right, tomorrow night we have Ascend Lounge, and that's at 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central, 6 o'clock Mountain, 5 o'clock Pacific. Come join us for an hour while we work our business and you work yours. It's very low key, low pressure, but a good chance to ask questions you have and get help and advice. And then for those of you that are doing book club, we are on week 2 of Better Than Beach Money with Jordan Adler, and that's at 9 o'clock Eastern tomorrow night. Have a great week, you guys. We will see you either tomorrow night or back next week.
You're welcome, everyone. Thank you for coming.